The government very much wanted the HE sector to be the leading light and to blaze the trail towards a low carbon economy. So in 2009, the university went about developing a strategy to reduce carbon emissions, and in 2010 we launched our first carbon management plan.
So our carbon target is to reduce our carbon emissions by 21% by 2020.
Climate breakdown is the defining issue in our generation and for future generations. Everything else pales in comparison.
At the start of the plan, we didn't have all the solutions. We had ideas of the direction of travel of certain technologies.
It was very challenging, first and foremost. We were planning over a 10-year period. We had no idea the extent to which the university would grow and develop. We didn't know how technology would develop.
We had buy-in at the very top level of the university, and that was retained throughout the plan period.
We invested in projects to reduce carbon, which in turn reduced utility consumption and utility bills. So any savings then were diverted back into the pot for subsequent investment. All in all, we've invested almost £10 million over the 10-year period.
All sections of the university were involved. We had a fantastic engineering team who were able to not only identify but also implement technical solutions. We're trying to convert the entire estate to LED lighting. At the beginning of the plan, that was a new technology. Whenever we design new buildings, orientation is taken into consideration. We try to use as much natural daylight as we possibly can. We try to use as much natural ventilation as we possibly can. We're in an urban environment, so we can't, for example, go and stick wind turbines up. That's one of the reasons why we decided to go for combined heat and power generation of electricity. And part of that process uses the heat to warm the buildings. In a conventional power station, the heat produced in the generating process would simply be dumped out to atmosphere. Whenever it actually became apparent that we could not only implement it, but it worked, that was the point at which we thought, you know what, this plan is doable, we can achieve our target.
I'm delighted to be able to say that at this stage we've met that target.
We're overperforming, we're ahead of schedule.
It's been a combination of technical projects and people changing how they operate to enable the targets to be met.
When you talk about carbon and you talk about climate change, it can be quite a big and a scary topic, and people might struggle to kind of see where they can actually have an impact or where they can change. At the minute we have over 80 green teams across the university that are trying to chip away, and it's not something that will happen overnight. The programmes that my team and I have been delivering are very action driven. More staff and students than ever are now taking the bus, they're taking the bike or they're walking, and we've also seen a real increase in our recycling and a diversion of our waste for landfill.
I think there's some fantastic initiatives here in Queen's that are responding to climate change, biodiversity loss and wider awareness of how we in society interact with our environment. So I think the Green Team and the Green Awards are very important for that because they encourage people to take action, they raise awareness of these big issues and they help us think about what we can do.
We've got a really engaged group of students who have organised their own events to try and motivate students.
There's loads of teams and they're all actively trying to do better in their own groups. Previous generations didn't know, we just did it a certain way. But when you realise there's a problem and there's something that you can do, just to make little changes that don't really impact your life that much, but they do make a difference.
If you just accept that it's going to happen, then it will happen. You know, you've got to be optimistic and try to think of problem solving and keep hope.
I think recently we've seen a massive awakening of the public consciousness. Climate breakdown is our individual responsibility. We all contribute to it.
Climate change is driven by consumerism. There's lots of other areas within the university where we can reduce the amount of things that we use.
We're now, as a university, starting to work on the next plan, another 10-year plan taking us to 2030, but that plan now needs to be broadened out.
We're the leading educational institution within Northern Ireland. We are informing the minds of future generations. We need to demonstrate that we take this seriously.
This is the next generation. You know, you've got some people who are going to go on and do incredible things in the future. You want them to have that mindset.
Switch off your computer at the end of the day, don't leave it on. Switch off the lights in your home. Make a conscious effort to bring your reusable cup to the cafe. Just be aware of the small things.
There's almost 30,000 staff and students in the university. If everybody does just a little bit, the cumulative effect of that becomes significant.
you know, this is not something that will go away. This is the start of a journey for Queen's, and we need to keep moving forward and finding new ways of engaging with staff. We need to find new technologies to really bring our carbon emissions down to zero.